Pick up the blitz. Flag is thrown. There's your first down and a lot more for Demaryius Thomas. Swing and a shot by Freeman. Deep into the night. Back-to-back homers for the Braves. Blake Griffin will turn. Shoot a three from the win. Found. They go. He got it. He got the big win. They
go. All right. Good evening. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. It's time for the number one sports podcast in the world. It's time for Sports for You. Live on YouTube. I'm John. Mark's on the way. Nick Freeze is on the way. What up, Bella? Live on your TV screens, your mobile devices, your laptops, your desktops. What up, Dalton? Live on YouTube and X. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for Sports for You Podcast on YouTube. Like us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports for You Podcast. Give us a follow on all those social media platforms. Of course, you can follow me at John Watts 0984 on X and Instagram. Mark on and TikTok, and Mark on Instagram. Hi, I'm Mark. Hi, I'm Mark1 on X, and then Nick on X, Instagram, and TikTok at 99Gorilla. Make sure you subscribe to Culture Clash Network, our partners. Big news coming for the Culture Clash family real soon, so stay tuned. I will let you know where you can find that news at the end of the show, but y'all want to make sure y'all stay tuned for that. And we got a loaded panel. We're continuing our two-a-day series. Shout out to everyone who pulled up for the East, who pulled up for the North, but now it's time to go down to the South. The South got something to say today. We got some great panel to talk about the AFC South and the NFC South on tonight. So we're going to introduce our guests one by one. First guest is, all these men are no stranger to the Sports for You show. So this first guest is, I want to consider this man as an expert when it comes to talking about the AFC South. He is the host of the Touring the South podcast. He does great work covering the AFC South, and here he is tonight to give us some great analysis on what to look ahead to as the AFC South begins their season. And that's my brother, my Vol Nation brother, Mike Patton in the building. What up, General?
What's going on, man?
Good to see you, brother, man. Obviously had a good conversation with you. You know you've had a long day, and glad that you were able to make it through. So first of all, send prayers out to your family. You obviously told us before the show his mother just had hip replacement, and obviously I could know from having a family do with surgery, I guarantee you've been running and gunning. So I want to send prayers to you and thank God for your strength that you were able to make it through here tonight.
Yes, sir. Wouldn't miss it for the world, man.
All right. Also joining us to talk about the AFC. This brother is no stranger to the program, and you're going to see him a lot more in the program, and I'll explain that a little bit later. He's one of the members of the Ballers and Briefs Fantasy Sports Podcast. He's repping H-Town. He's repping for the Texans. My brother Cody is in the building. Cody, what up, man?
What's up, John? What's up, Mike? Appreciate you guys,
going on, man?
As always, and shout out to the Sports for You extended family, and can't wait to be part of it.
All right.
Time. So.
All right. Bella's here. Nessa's here, obviously. Our next guest, he's no stranger to the program. We're gonna have he'll be giving us analysis on the NFC South side. He does a podcast with our own OTC of Sports Free Wrestling Trail during the season, focused on the New Orleans Saints. He has various podcasts in the Sports Talk with Friends and Beer and BS media platforms. And he's no stranger to the show. Our brother representing Who Dat Nation, my man Dale is in the house. Dale, what up?
Who Dat? We are coming to talk about the Saints. That's right. Put some respect on our name.
All right. And our last two guests, they're definitely no strangers to the program. And obviously, if you know these brothers, they're like family too. Obviously, repping for us down in the Georgia. They call us the best in the West, and we call these brothers the geniuses of Georgia. Repping for the Undisputed GOAT podcast. We got my brother Champ, and we got our boy Big Drell in the building. What up, fellas?
What the business? What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man? Glad to be here. Always a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be here. Rise up.
All right. Oh boy, we're gonna have a lot to talk about tonight. So let's go ahead and start. Before we get into the AFC and NFC talk, with just one topic I want to get into. It's involving the world of college football. Now, there's a couple things in college football we can discuss, but they did release recently the first AP poll for the top 25. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on this poll. Texas ranked number 1. We got Penn State 2. The reigning national champion Ohio State Buckeyes 3. Clemson 4. Georgia 5. Last year's runners-up Notre Dame at 6. Oregon 7. Alabama 8. LSU 9. And rounding out the top 10 is the University of Miami. Get some thoughts first. I'm gonna start with you, Mike P. What you make of Texas being number one in the AP poll, knowing that they face Ohio State week 1?
Well, I'm not really surprised. I figured they may be there. I mean, Sarkisian definitely brings in tons of talent, and of course, the hype train that is backed up to Arch Manning's back door is definitely about to bust through there. With all that energy they bring in, man. I'm like, come on, man. Let me see him play like 5 games before you just anoint him the next one. Come on now. That drives me crazy. But I do have another thing I just want to point out in this as well.
Go ahead.
Looking at this, Penn State won't be number 2 for long. They'll lose to somebody. They always do. Because James Franklin can't win the big games. Never has been able to win the big games. And looking at Miami, and I saw Carson Beck at Georgia last year. They won't be number 10 for long. I'll just say that.
Dale, you seem the villain. You seem like you had a lot to. You was applauding everything Mike was saying, because I know you had thoughts on one Archibald Manning, and obviously representing from those Bayou Bengals.
Listen,
what did you make of the top 25?
Everybody is just giving him the benefit of the doubt because of his last name. I have yet to see anything besides some running out of Arch Manning when he got to play quarterback. Like that's what I saw from him. And now we're anointing him the number 1 team. Okay, fine. Let's see him hold on to it. That's a lot of pressure to have on a first-year starter. First-year starter, people.
I'll go over to my brother Cody, who is a Dogs fan. What you make of Texas being the number 1? Let's get all the SEC guys. We got it's an SEC pro crowd, because obviously, like me and Mike are both Tennessee fans. Obviously, Dale's an LSU fan, and I got a bunch of dogs here. So I guess I'll go with the one dog from H-Town first before we go to the 2 Georgia boys.
So, I mean, living in Texas, the I guess it's all about them right now, right? So, they're there. They're essentially the Yankees of college football right now, like just the profitability and how much they're worth, and I mean, kind of what Dale said. Arch Manning, $6 million says he's it. $6 million in NIL money says that he's it right now, right? So they're there. Yes, they're an SEC team. I don't think if they weren't SEC, they would not be there. I think if there's still Big 12, exactly the same Texas team would not be at number 1. We're going to see week 1. I think they've got the best game week 1. Unfortunately, Georgia, we play Marshall, so it really doesn't mean shit for us. So, like, we're just going to kind of sit there and hopefully coast. Doesn't mean I'll stay at 5. I'll be humble and stay at 5 after week 1, and then we'll just kind of start climbing the charts after that. One I am surprised about is Texas Tech down there at 23. That's another NIL problem, because they spent all that money, like $55 million or something like that in booster NIL money this year, and they bought that 23 spot.
All right. So let's go over to, we got Mark just walked in the house, so we got more Georgia representation here. So I'm gonna start with Champ, and then we go to Drell, then we'll go to Mark. Champ, what you make of Texas as number 1?
Look,
If you ask me, they should have. The only reason that Quentin Ewers was starting because he was a senior. That's just me being honest. You got to be honest. And a lot of people will argue the same argument that was with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow. That same argument was with Quentin Ewers and Arch Manning, who should really be starting at a certain point. So see what he did. To see what he did, a situational ball that they put him in, it made you excited and it made you desire more because they had a damn good team. They damn near made it to the national championship. I mean, they damn near made it. So it doesn't surprise me considering all the players they have back and to add a Manning. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Manning. You can't go wrong. It's kind of like getting a Matthews and putting them in the NFL. I mean, I know people love to talk about the Mannings, but the Matthews, 5 generations of NFL players. It just doesn't get any better than that. It's going to be interesting to see what Carson Beck does now that he doesn't have Mike Bobo handcuffing him. It's going to be interesting to see what he does down there in Miami now that he doesn't have Mike Bobo handcuffing him. Because at times,
time out. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
You say Mike Bobo handcuffed him and then throwing them turnovers, man?
Well, not necessarily that as well. But the thing is, if you really look at the offense between the time, hear me out on this. Look at the offense between Todd.
I see the offense. I know.
And look at the offense between Mike Bobo. Not as explosive, not as wide open, not as good. So every time that he made a throw, he had to make that one throw count.
Are you saying this about? You saying this about who, champ? Just
Carson Beck. He doesn't have those. He doesn't have that conservative handcuff on him as far as Mike Bobo is concerned.
Carson Beck.
So it's going to be interesting to see what he does now that he's in Miami. It's going to be interesting to see what he does now that he's not handcuffed anymore.
I'm gonna cover my eyes, man.
Some tell me Mark and Mike are thinking the same thing right now, but I can't read their thoughts. What you think?
The thing is this: look at the difference between the offenses. Look at the difference. Look at Miami this year with Cam Ward, very, very wide open. Look at how it was with Todd Monken when we had Todd Monken. Look at what Todd Monken did for Lamar Jackson. Wide open offense, a lot of big plays, a lot of plays deep in the end zone. So they going for it all. They don't mind. He doesn't mind. He didn't mind being aggressive. Mike Bobo was very, very conservative. I mean, sometimes the offense was stagnant when it really shouldn't have been. There was literally times that we was literally tied at the half with teams that we have no business being tied with. And we saw it. I mean, the eye test says it all. I mean, am I right or wrong, Frank?
Hold on, let me get Mark stop. I'm going to hear Drell say, Drell, what you make about Texas being number one? And then what you think about your brother saying about your dog's former QB?
Well, I'm one of those. I'm one of those with the mindset. I put it to you like this. I think it's crazy that the national champion, the Ohio State University, is ranked 3rd. I feel like if you coming into the year to defend the national champion, you should be 1. But that's neither here nor there. That's a conversation for another day. If you're the defending national champion coming into the next upcoming season, you should be ranked number 1. That's just how I feel. But that's neither here nor there. As far as the Georgia talk is concerned, I feel like two things can be true. While I agree that Mike Bobo is can be a very conservative play caller, and he does call plays down to the competition. Carson Beck did suck last year too. I mean, two things can be true at once. Carson Beck was not that good last year. I mean, we could talk about Mike Bobo's conservative play calling, but Carson Beck missed a lot of easy throws last year. Carson Beck was not that great last year. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he does in Miami because, I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, he is going to have a lot. I guess you could say, the wide open offense. There's going to be a lot more opportunities to push the ball down the field. So I'm definitely interested to see what Carson Beck does in a new scheme. But two things. I'm like, yeah, Mike Bobo is a conservative play caller, but Carson Beck was not that good last year. So I'm just kind of interested. I'm kind of interested to see what he does. As far as the rest of the rankings are concerned, yeah, I don't necessarily have really like too big an issue with it. I mean, I mean, the top 10. I mean, you can't. You're not going to substitute anybody out that top 10. I mean, it's basically the right top 10. I mean, if you want to move some teams around, I mean that that's preference, that's opinion or whatnot. But like I said, I feel like Ohio State should be the number 1 team in the country coming in as a national champion. The fact that they're ranked 3rd is kind of crazy. I mean, Penn State. Yeah, you're bringing back Drew Allard. I mean, he's basically like the best QB in the country. He's going to be this the most sought after quarterback come the 2026 draft and all that. But I mean, yeah, like Mike said, man, Penn State in big games, then just not so much, not so much. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do. Clemson being 4, just kind of, I guess Clemson kind of. If you want to say kind of reasserting themselves into the forefront of things, I think was a good thing to see, considering where they were at one point, the drop off, and then kind of seeing them come back. It's a good story. It's a good story. Notre Dame is, I feel like out of the top 10, of course, you got Notre Dame. I guess if Texas is the biggest money, if Texas is the money school, Notre Dame is like right there with them as far as the money school, the TV, the TV contract, just all the publicity, the Fighting Irish are going to bring as far as like, national TV is concerned. But like I said, that top 10, I really don't have too much problem with it. Really, outside of Ohio State, in my opinion, should be number 1. But yeah, that Georgia talk. I mean, yeah, we'll kind of see as far as Carson Beck and what he does this year. I'm intrigued to see what he do. I'm intrigued to see if he can bounce back, being in an offense that's going to allow him to drive the ball down the field. I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do. But I mean, I am not about to sit here and back Carson Beck the way he played last year. He was not good. So I hope that with Mike Bobo, like quick Georgia point, I do kind of want to see what he does with Gunnar Stockton being the starting quarterback. Will he actually call plays revolving around the talent that he has at quarterback or the skill set he has at quarterback, as opposed to just calling play, just keeping them out of trouble and keeping them from making mistakes. I mean, sometimes you gotta open it up. You gotta take risk, and I kind of want to see that from Georgia this year. I kind of want to see that from Mike Bobo's play calling. I don't know if he's going to do it, but it's definitely one thing I want to see. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts as far as like the rankings are concerned. I do feel like Ohio State should be number 1 though.
Mark, what you make of the top 25?
I'm gonna go off what Drills was talking about with Ohio State. I believe they probably not number 1. They lost a lot.
Can I respond?
Last year, right?
Say it again, Mike.
It said Ohio State's not number 1 because 1, you don't know what they got at quarterback.
Yeah,
2, they lost some pieces defensively as well. So that's probably why.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I don't understand. I don't think Penn State should be over them. I agree with that part. But Ohio State they're probably not number 1 because of everything they lost. They lost 2 running backs, the quarterback, wide receiver. Yeah, they lost a lot of that's probably why. No, and with Georgia, I agree with Drill. I think both things are true. Bobo is a conservative play caller, but even with the conservative play calling, Carson Beck was just ass last year.
Thank you.
Completely trash. I think he was pressing too much because he came in as the Heisman favorite. I think he was trying to press too much, and I think he was trying to do more than what he should have been doing. But he just played like shit last year. So more power to him in Miami. Get the hell out of Georgia.
All right. And then there's some other news involving college football. They're talking about trying to make, and this is sort of where you guys sometimes got to tell people to just shut up. They're thinking about extending the college football playoff to look resemble more like March Madness.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What are we doing here? I think we was talking about maybe extending the 28 teams.
No. This is good. This is a lot now.
And making do the first 4 for college football? No!
This is good now college teams.
Too much. Too much. What they got is enough, bro. Too much.
Yeah. This right here is a lot.
What are we talking about? Add 12 more teams to the playoff? What are we doing? No.
That's the Big Ten, man. Wasn't that the Big Ten's idea?
Football?
Yes, it's the Big Ten's idea.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is, because they've got all the apparently they've got all the money now, and like the guy that's that owns Oracle and that owns that island out in the middle of like the Hawaii somewhere. That dude, he married a woman that's a Michigan woman, and now he's a Michigan man. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's it's crazy. That's money ideas. That ain't about football. That's about how much money can we make doing this shit.
Making the playoffs should be a privilege. You should have to work your behind off in order to make the playoffs.
Amen.
I mean, it shouldn't be where just because your ass hungry for some money, you just want to insert teams in because you extended the 12 more. They said 28 teams.
28, yeah.
What's the point of it? You're gonna have a whole bunch of blowouts in the first couple of games. It's gonna be unwatchable. And what's gonna happen to the other bowl games? The thing is this: keep it where it is. It should be a privilege in order to make the college football playoff. Making the college football playoff should be a monument. It should be you're on the hot seat if you don't make the playoffs. That's what it should be. Not okay, you can drag all season long towards the end, go on a little run, and then all of a sudden you're in the college football playoffs.
Yep.
It's already bad enough that y'all made the conference championships not matter anymore.
Yep.
Because you got to start asking yourself, what are teams going to do if I'm in the conference championship? I'm undefeated already. What am I going to do? Am I going to send my players out there? Am I going to rest them? You're playing a dangerous game at this point, college football, and you got to wonder how's it going to turn out if y'all keep with this money grab. 4 teams, extended it from 4 teams to this many now, understandable. There was going to be some controversy when it first starts off. But to extend it, we want 12 or 28 teams? No. I mean, guess what? The teams that should have made it last year made it. And got to see guys like, and we're seeing stuff that we saw in March Madness, that we would see in March Madness. We saw a breakout player in the form of Cam Scatterboot. Remember, everybody laughed at Cam Scatterboot when he said, I'm the best back in college football. They ha. And he went out there and damn near beat Texas by himself. He was booping miles in that thing out there, running, catching, and passing. So you are able to see guys like that. And guess what? We saw Ashton Jeanty. He's not from the SEC or from the Big 10 or Big 12. He's not from none of those schools. So guess what? We got a chance to see March Madness type of players in there. There's going to be a Cinderella team that goes in there. Guess what? We saw one last year with SMU. They went in there. We haven't seen them in a big game since the death penalty back in the 80s. So you're going to get the stories that you need. You just can't force the shit in there like everybody's supposed to be. Everybody don't need to be in the playoffs just like everybody don't need to be in the Marines and the Army. Everybody doesn't need to be in there. It's a privilege to be in there. So leave it as it is. Stop trying to grab money. And because eventually when you start putting too many teams in there, what do you start doing? Diluting the product. And nobody's going to want to watch it until the championship games.
Yeah, in fact, Scotty said he was the best running back. Hey,
all I can say is about this.
He came out there and beat Texas by himself. He lost. He lost. And they still gave him the MVP.
Yep.
So, I mean, they can laugh. People can laugh all he wants to, but he came out there and sure as hell showed it against the powerhouse Texas team. He didn't show it against some slapstick team. He showed them against Texas. That was one of the best teams in the league. It had one of the best defenses in the league. So he showed them. Coming out of Arizona.
Amen. All right. Let's get to some NFL action.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either, the expansion.
You know,
to be clear.
So are we, but we're cool. So we all agree we're all cool where this is at, right?
I think this.
I have a question for Mr. Dale. Is Brian Kelly on the hot seat?
I don't think he's on the hot seat as far as about to get fired if he doesn't win the championship this year. But a lot is expected this year because LSU spent a lot on the roster. And honestly speaking, though, we have been patient with Brian Kelly. He came in, cleaned house, which, he felt he needed to do. And he made some mistakes by getting rid of everybody. He learned. He went and got back some of these assistants back to the team. But then that year he was like, "Oh, we're not paying players, trying to get people from the transfer portal." Well, he learned his mistake then, And so now we're paying players, and we got the kind of roster we want, the kind of depth we want. It's going to be about keeping the quarterback healthy and everything like that. But I think, he's expected to make the playoffs for sure. Now, I think if he doesn't make the playoffs, then there'd be a little bit more actual rumbling. But he's still got a huge buyout. LSU can't afford this buyout and go get another coach and pay players. Like, we don't have that kind of money. So I believe you'll start hearing more true rumbles if LSU does not make the playoffs this season.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dale.
Dale. Plus 900 to win the Heisman. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Hey, Dale.
He's plus 900.
Dale,
So.
Yeah. Let me also mention that my former college teammate is actually the offensive line coach for the LSU Tigers. That would be Alex Atkins. So,
okay. Yeah. We just brought him in from Miami, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No. He was the offensive coordinator at Florida State last year.
Florida State. Yeah, Florida State. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he should be pivotal in helping us.
He's in his element
running game
now.
Because
he's in his element now.
Yeah, the run game has suffered the past couple years since Jaden Daniels has been gone. So that was the big addition to help the running game for sure. So I like it.
Definitely gonna have you guys on more. We talk definitely now the college football scene, because obviously it's all SEC. We got Georgia, we got Tennessee, and LSU all represented on one show. So the SEC definitely have SEC.
The SEC pub during the
That's right, the SEC pub, another one that sells products. So y'all make sure y'all check that out.
What days are they on?
That's right.
Hey,
usually it's gonna be on Monday.
Hey, Dale, I did have to mention this to you. Dale, I did have to mention this to you though, man. Brian Kelly probably should have got fired when he tried to fake that Southern accent. That's when he should have got fired.
What was he thinking, man?
He was feeling
that was
my family. I'm like, come on, dog. But you from the south side of Connecticut? Because you definitely ain't from the south. Come on, dog.
All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk some NFL. So over the weekend, obviously, we'll get to the AFC South because the AFC and the NFC. We're going to start with the AFC first, but let's get into what happened. Someone knows over the weekend specifically what everyone's still talking about, and that's in Cleveland with the situation with the Browns QB situation. They did announce Joe Flacco's a starter, but Dylan Gabriel played on Saturday. Mm-hmm. He looked good, but he did the one thing that you can't do as a quarterback, and that's spill the church's money. The interception. Now, let me say this: that interception was not bad. The throw, that was a bad route. But you can't turn the ball over, can't fumble the ball, put the ball on the ground either. If you someone had to run a bad route. And that tight end, he got alligator arms because he put his hands back. But outside of that, I think he played a decent game. But right now, I would still give the edge to Shador right now. And obviously, I think both of them are going to have a chance Saturday. They play the Rams Saturday in the land. So real quick,
right? They play out here, huh?
No, they're in Cleveland. They're in Cleveland. So real quick, Mark, we know Flacco's number one. By the end of the week, how many quarterbacks will be on the Browns and who will be number two?
3, and they're going to put Dylan Gabriel number 2. I think Shador should be number 2 though, but they're going to put Dylan Gabriel.
What about you, Mike P?
All right, I'm gonna say there will be 4 quarterbacks on the Browns roster to start the season. There's very much momentum for 4 quarterbacks to be on the roster, which is crazy to me, but hey, that's what they want to do. And also, as far as the number 2 quarterback, it'll be Kenny Pickett. Kenny Smallhands will be the second quarterback. It's just a battle of what rookie is going to be the number 3 quarterback at this point. But I will say, I do think that there's going to be multiple quarterbacks get shots at starting for the Cleveland Browns this year because 40-year-old Joe Flacco is not going to 16, 17 games.
I agree. Cody, what you think?
I think it's going to be I kind of want to agree with what Mike just said, that it could be 4. But I I'm giving Joe Flacco more faith than I think a lot of people are. Okay, he hasn't played over like 9 games since he left Baltimore. I don't think. And so he's half pretty way rested. Like he's not played a full season. So what I'm saying is I'm giving him like bootleg Rich Gannon with the Raiders at the end of Rich Gannon's Raiders run type. That's what I feel like. And I don't know. Something maybe it's just a soft spot I have for Joe Flacco, but I mean he could be better than what we think. And I saw him firsthand again in the playoffs with Cleveland. And when they beat us, and then we ended up beating them in the playoffs. So that was 2 years ago. And if it's the same Flacco, which I don't think it's that much diminished returns, I think he could at least keep it for at least 10 games, the starting job. So, but I could give or take Shador, Dylan Gabriel as the number 3. I really don't care, to be totally honest with you, because in my opinion, they both suck.
No, Dale, what you think of the situation?
I see 3 quarterbacks. My thought was Kenny Pickett getting cut and Snoop getting cut. Now the number 2 quarterback, just judging off just the way things looked and the numbers compared side by side, I give it to Shador, but that's me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on it.
And they did carry 4 on their roster last season, by the way, just so everybody knows that.
That's crazy.
There you go, Nick and Mark with the bullshit already.
Wait, what? Is that Champ? Oh, shit.
Champ already knows.
Champ, what's going on, man?
Champ, what's going on, bro? Champ saw Nick walk in the studio. He just put his head down.
Hey, whoa. Pause. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Pause.
Champ, what you make of the whole Brown situation?
It's going to all come down to Sunday's last preseason game. Really want me to be honest. I think both of them are going to play again, and then whoever has the better performance, that's who we're going to roll with at number 2. I mean, that's just what I believe. I'm just being real. I don't get the attraction with Dylan Gabriel. He kind of turned me off when he lost that big game against Ohio State, because they went out there and just got murderized. I mean, it wasn't even a fight. So that didn't impress me either. So it's going to all come down to what goes on this Sunday, depending on what goes on this Sunday. Depending on who has the better performance, that's who's going to end up number 2 and number 3. That's what I believe. I don't think that Kenny Pickett should. No, I think they should give somebody else a chance. He's had his chances, and it's like it has been disastrous everywhere. So it's just, in the great words of Teddy P, let it go.
Wait, didn't Kenny Pickett just win with the Eagles?
Nico, what? There you go.
Nico, what? When you're a quarterback win with the Eagles, you get. Never mind.
No. Here we go.
Oh, my bad.
Drell, what you think?
My bad, Joe.
Drell still there, or he must step away. All right, well, Drell stepped away. We're going to go ahead and talk AFC. All right. So we got Mike P. We got Cody here to talk AFC South tonight. And it's good to have Mike P here because obviously he does the tour in the AFC South podcast. So he obviously talks about the whole division as daily. So obviously there was some big news this morning in the AFC South.
Big
news. Yo, chill. And that is that the Indianapolis Colts announced that Daniel Jones will be their week 1 starter.
Wait, he beat up Anthony Richardson? sorry. I'm sorry about that. I said out loud.
So it's only right that we talk to the man who covers this team daily.
I'm about to throw some shit on group chat.
Why did Daniel Jones win this job, Mike Patton?
All right. Here's the reason why Daniel Jones won the job. It's consistency versus the potential. You have the potential of Anthony Richardson and what he can do when he's on his game with the deep ball and all those different things, which I will say he did acquire a changeup to his fastball that he usually throws. However, with Daniel Jones, you know exactly what you're getting a little bit more than you actually know with Anthony Richardson. So therefore, they're going with the more consistent as opposed to the inconsistent in layman's terms. So that's how and why. But I will tell you that even though Daniel Jones is starting, you have to remember Daniel Jones is injury prone. And also, you have to remember that Daniel Jones can be really, really bad when he wants to be.
Yes.
So there you go. So I fully expect Anthony Richardson to get some chances and to play at some point in this season. But the biggest thing that'll happen is not this year, but this offseason, if they pick up his fifth-year option. If they don't pick up his fifth-year option, then he is done, gone, whoever, whatever. We'll see what happens. But he's too talented for someone not to give him another opportunity somewhere else if he's not with the Colts.
Who's talented?
Anthony Richardson.
He's got too many physical skills for someone not to give him a chance.
But none of that helps with being a quarterback. You better be a tight end, a fullback. You better he's
not either one of those.
Defensive end,
here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. Is he worse than Nathan Peterman? No, he's not worse than Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman played for 5 years in the NFL. So if you want to bring him, if you want to say he's worse than Nathan Peterman, I got some questions for you. At that point,
he's not worse than Nathan Peterman.
That ain't saying much.
Nathan Peterman, the worst person who ever started a quarterback.
Exactly. Nathan Peterman got played on 4 or 5 different teams as a backup.
Andrew Rich's gonna fall right in that trend. Unless he moved to
I'm just saying the
tight
point.
end or H-back.
Basically, he's gonna get another opportunity somewhere because he's definitely talented.
He's worse than Tebow. He's worse than Tebow. And that's coming from me as a Broncos fan. At least Tebow was number 4. So does this put Shane Steichen on the hot seat?
Oh, they pass up on him. Oh,
go ahead. He's been on the hot seat. He's been on the hot seat.
I got this. Go ahead. That was 2023. I got you. Does this put Shane Steichen on the hot seat? What up, boss lady? Immediately.
He's been on the hot seat, in my opinion. Also, I think the Colts organization has to take some blame for the way things have gone as well with Anthony Richardson too, because literally, I get the health reasons and all those different things that Anthony Richardson has been on the field, but you come in with a rookie quarterback and you come in and try to throw him in. Hey, you're gonna throw it 20 to 25 times a game and do these different things. No. When a young quarterback that you know is a developmental quarterback comes in, you use the running game and eventually, kind of, get him prepared that way and then kind of spoon feed him a few things. And, as time goes on, then he's prepared. But they totally screwed that up when they first started at the beginning. He wasn't ready to be a starter his rookie season. I talked to Warren Moon about this. He even said, he's like, no, the kid should have never started his first year. So in that aspect, they didn't necessarily help themselves either by not developing him the right way.
Drafted when he got drafted either, but
you should have started at Florida.
Well, I'll stay out of this.
Like I'm not gonna bag on the young man. He's already going through a lot, so I'm not even gonna go there. So he's already going through a lot.
The fact that he went to Florida is enough for me to joke on him.
Yeah, Paul. Christ. All right. Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
boy.
Yo, Cody. What you make about the situation? What you make out the situation?
Crazy. I love to see the Colts flounder. I love to see it. I just love to know that they're gonna have to shit or go blind. Really, that's just really how it is. But this one, in this case, the reason why Daniel Jones is going to be the starter is Shane Steichen, that year that they drafted Anthony Richardson, took Gardner Minshew to over 3,300 yards passing. Daniel Jones can get close to that, and they still won 8 games. I think that this team isn't that terrible. Daniel Jones is mediocre at best, and the two comps that I have to Anthony Richardson is Akili Smith and Jamarcus Russell. So those are just no, I'm just saying the numbers.
Jamarcus Russell,
the numbers. If you look at the numbers, between 31 games, Jamarcus Russell played 31 games in the NFL. Okay, he went 7-18 and had about 4,000 passing yards. Okay, Anthony Richardson has played 15 games and has 2,300 passing yards. The numbers are almost identical through 15 games. Except minus the 10 rushing. Except for the 10 rushing yards, okay? The 10 rushing touchdowns.
I get part of it stat wise, but I can't compare him to Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell, they gave that man a blank tape and asked him to study it, and then he came back and talked about it. I don't remember Anthony Richardson doing that.
I know. I just have a friend. One of my buddies that's on our show he's a big Florida fan. He watched AR at Florida, and he was never impressed with him then. Yep. He said he didn't have enough reps, that he was mediocre. Yep. There, he's just athletic as shit, and that he had no business, anybody business drafting him that high. And the Colts did it. And another thing that I thought of, he might have been a Jim Irsay pick, right? Like he could have been a Jim Irsay pick. And Jim Irsay's no longer with us, RIP Jim Irsay. And now the Irsay's daughters are like, okay, Shane Steichen, fix the fucking problem. This dude isn't what we thought he was. And what they had was either sign Joe Flacco again or go with Daniel Jones. So that's pretty much what it was. It's Daniel Jones or Joe Flacco at one point.
Yeah, the Colts definitely were blinded by the physical tools of Anthony Richardson, which a lot of people were. And it is what it is, and it didn't work out. And basically, it is what it is. A combination of all these things, and it didn't work.
At least the Patriots were smart, and they didn't do that to Joe Milton. So,
all right. At least the Raiders didn't trade up.
Oh gosh, Joe Milton. Don't even mention that name. Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Real quick, before we get back to AC South, more than AC South. Dale, Champ, Drill, what y'all make of Daniel Jones being the starter? I'll start with you, Dale.
Not really surprised, just because Anthony Richardson, that he needed some more time to cook, really. And if you really think about it, now we kind of bring this circle around. We go back to Arch. Because, people want him to come out this 1 year, and that's all you got from Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson was willing to take this money because they was going to give it to him. But yeah, like when you drafted a quarterback number one, you need to have 2 years of tape on him because that position is so hard to draft. You still could be wrong with the 2 years of tape, but I feel a lot better about it when I got 2 years of tape versus one.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Champ.
I wasn't impressed with him coming out of Florida, if you really want to be honest with you. And the whole time during that draft process, they was talking about two guys coming out of the SEC. And they were talking about him and Will Levis. And I wasn't sold on either one of them. And you see what both of them are at right now. All the things you heard about. Will Levis could go first overall. He wasn't even that good. And when you talk about Anthony Richardson, here's what I believe. And this is just me. I believe people looked at Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and look at how they got developed by their respective teams, and they was willing to go take a flyer on a developmental quarterback.
Hold on.
Bingo.
Hold on. Nick, go ahead, Nick.
Bingo. I'm about to say that. When the moment they said that Josh Allen comp, that was what boosted up his stock because nobody wanted him until somebody was all like, oh, this could be another Josh Allen. The moment that was said, all of a sudden his stock went boom immediately the same day. Yeah. I don't know what the hell they thought they was. Brian Dable was not up over there in Indianapolis.
Who the hell thought he was Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. Nobody knew Josh Allen was Josh Allen.
Yeah. Listen to Mel Kiper.
Lightning in the dark.
Somebody was listening.
Yeah, he was a developmental. Both Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen were developmental quarterbacks. It's easy to say, well, they were the guy now because considering how great they are now, considering how great they are as far as winning MVPs, going to AFC championships, although they keep getting stopped by Mahomes. It's easy to say that now. But the thing is, when they were coming out, they were developmental project quarterbacks. Remember, Lamar Jackson didn't start his first year. They was developing him under Joe Flacco. So they were developmental projects. Everybody wasn't sure about them. Everybody was throwing shade at Lamar Jackson when he came out. And I think the minute that people saw that, they was talking about, okay, this could be the next Lamar Jackson. Everybody ain't built like that. Just because you are one hell of an athlete does not mean you can play the quarterback position. I'm going to say that again. Just because you are an athlete at the quarterback position doesn't mean you can play the quarterback position. We've seen a hell of a lot of great athletes play the quarterback position. We'll start with one of the first ones, that being Bobby Douglas. He was a great athlete playing the quarterback position. Couldn't hit the ground if he fell on it. So we have to put more time in tape. And if you're going to bring in a developmental quarterback, do like everybody else does. Develop him while he's sitting behind somebody else. You saw Steve Young was a developmental quarterback. Look at what they did with him, what Bill Walsh did with him. Set his behind Joe Montana, and he learned all that for years. By the time they got it in, he was good. Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love is sorry.
A lot of guys were developmental quarterbacks. They just had the luxury of being able to sit behind someone until they learned. Lamar Jackson, he sat behind Joe Flacco for some games. So guess what? If you're going to draft that guy, make sure you have a veteran in front of him that can win you some games, rather than trying to force him out there and just, hey, here you go. Because not every athlete that plays the quarterback position is a quarterback. Some guys are just athletes playing the position.
Jarrell, what you think?
Well, part of that I put on the Colts front office when they drafted Anthony Richardson, because why didn't you have somebody there that was good enough to sit him down in the first place? You ain't had nobody there good enough to sit him down. So you really kind of had no choice. And now you're in a situation where you're pretty much all but giving up on him now. Dude still really ain't got a full season on his belt. You pretty much saying, yeah, we wrong. We waving the white flag. We're gonna try this again in 2026 with all the quarterbacks coming out of that draft. We're gonna try this again next year. Ain't no way you can put him back now, unless Daniel Jones do extremely worse Daniel Jones things. You can't put. Don't get me wrong. It's Daniel Jones, and it's very, very possible. But the Indianapolis Colts, to me, are one of those teams that are going to be like, they're not going to be good enough for a top 10 pick, but they're not going to be bad enough for a top 10 pick, but they're not going to be good enough to be, the playoff draft picks. They're not going to be good enough to be like in the 20s. So it's like they're kind of like stuck in between a rock and a hard place. So it's like, what do you do in a situation like this? I mean, even though Anthony Richardson wasn't he obviously wasn't the best as far as like just pure passing the ball, but it's like, I mean, you kind of put yourself in this situation. I mean, you might as well give him more time to develop. You ran him out there. You might as well give him more time to develop. You're basically saying, yeah, we know we screwed this one up. So Daniel Jones, here you go. We got some talent here. We got decent talent on both sides of the ball. Let's see what you could do. Because this is probably, I think either way, this is probably that they're probably I'd say a 6 to 8 win team anyway. So I mean, it's not like it's going to do that much of a difference. But you pretty much basically waving the white flag on Anthony Richardson at this point. And some of this is on y'all, because you didn't have a quarterback when he was first drafted that was good enough to put him on the bench. So I kind of partly, even though this is on Anthony Richardson for like being sorry, it's like, yeah, basically being sorry and not really like taking it serious and taking full grasp of the playbook. But this is also in the Indianapolis Colts front office, because you should have known he wasn't ready, but yet you didn't sign anybody good enough to put him on his butt on the bench and let him learn and let him develop. Give him a year or so to understand things, understand the offense, and then put him in there when he's actually prepared and maybe he could do something. So this is like an Indianapolis Colts screw up from like top to bottom.
Mark, Nick, you got to final words, and then we'll go over to the.
Oh no. We can not for me.
Nick, anything else you want to add before we go to another team?
Yeah, because the thing is, here's the biggest difference when they made the comp as far as him to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. When Josh Allen was drafted, he had already probably top 3 strongest arms in the league, like immediately. Like you saw that he had the rocket arm off the rip, and if you have something like that, that's something that can't be taught. Now, if you can feel they work on his accuracy, his progressions, and everything over time, mixed in with athleticism, you can see the potential. Lamar Jackson, he won a Heisman in college, and the next year you can physically see that his passing was better than it was when he won the Heisman. So you can see the progression. They'd be like, all right, I'll take this chance on this dude. With him, I don't know what the hell the coach was thinking. Like the offense they ran up over there in Florida was terrible. I think he threw more interceptions than touchdowns. There was nothing that made me be like, I want to draft this guy in the first round. Dudes like Anthony Richardson all fall into that category that make that term of this guy should switch to receiver or tight end even more crazy, because he's the guy that feeds into that narrative because his quarterbacking skills are not up to par at all. I don't get it. It was a crazy shot in the dark, an unnecessary shot in the dark at that, especially when there was better quarterback talent coming out the next year. So it's like I didn't get that. That was weird. If I was them, I would have traded down or just something to that extent and there was other talent, like their offensive line was terrible. It still is. They could have drafted what's his name? Paris. They could have drafted him. That would have been a great draft pick for them. So that pick was terrible. That was a big reach for a quarterback that really, from the quarterback wise, as far as skill wise, showed you absolutely nothing. So that's all that I don't put that much on him. I put like about 10% on him because at the end of the day, you should get better in the league. You have shown that you have not gotten better, but the rest of that is on the coach because like you saw film on this dude and saw the same exact film we saw and was like, I want this guy to be our franchise QB. That was not a right decision at all from somebody whose team has drafted terribly at quarterback. The quarterback position is absolutely pivotal. You have to, especially at that high of a pick, you have to hit that on the nail. Or at least, like you said, have something to be like, okay, I can see why this guy was drafted. We give Trevor Lawrence all this slack or whatever, but at least in college, we know you saw like, okay, this guy could be a quarterback in the NFL. But Anthony Richardson case is just, I don't get it. I think they just saw the athleticism, and Shannon Sharp was talking about that, and people killed Shannon Sharp for saying that. He said all that stuff that everybody's talking about has nothing to do with being a quarterback. There you go. I don't care how big your hands are, how fast you are, your vertical jump. None of that shit has shit to do with being a quarterback. There you go. I agree. So unless he takes a drastic jump at the very least, to be like a dink and dunk type of dude, at the very least, and you can build upon that, I don't see him at a quarterback going anywhere. He needs to go to a quarterback guru in order to go to San Francisco, revamp career there. All the backups over there end up getting paid, or go to Sean McVay.
Yeah,
go to one of those guys, revamp your career, dog. If you want to do something like that,
go to the Giants.
Go to the Giants. They already got a quarterback.
Yeah,
Brian Dable.
New York is a quarterback graveyard. Don't go to New York.
Oh man,
he should be.
Green or blue.
There you go, Mark.
Again, I'm just confused on why they drafted him out of Florida. I watched him play at Florida as a Georgia fan.
Yeah. As a USC fan, I watched him in Florida and said, "What the hell's going on?"
We beat him in Tennessee. We beat
Yeah,
him.
they got drunk off looking at the athleticism, man.
That's
That's
all it
was.
I can tell you that now.
You're right, Mike. He was a combine superstar. He was Mike Mamula.
Yes.
Guys like that.
Oh man, yeah.
He was that.
He was Manti Te'o's
Yeah,
girl.
he was a combine superstar.
good?
You're correct.
Wait, time out.
Yo,
What you tracking?
Now, right?
Dude, what's wrong with you?
Have you seen that person?
Yes, the documentary showed it.
Y'all going to hell.
I didn't say nothing.
I mean,
What's wrong with this dude, man?
Y'all.
I mean, the development was pretty invisible.
No, Drell. What's wrong with you?
Well, underdevelopment.
Y'all, okay, I see y'all.
No.
Tennessee Titans. No. Tennessee Titans. I know this is gonna get. You out of pocket. You out of pocket. You out of pocket. And Drell out of pocket. Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans. The development was invisible.
I'm sorry, hey, champ. I tell you, as of late, I've kind of been on my BS a little bit lately, so you kind of got to excuse me a little bit. That's my fault.
Hey,
You know where you at right now?
hey, no, hey, I'm a bad influence. My bad, y'all.
Trevor, you've been on here too many times. You already know what it is. So let's talk about the Titans. The team with the number 1 pick. They get Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, second-year coach Brian Callahan.
Why is it immediately talking about Shedeur Sanders more than the big argument?
Let's ask the guy who covers the team. Why is that, Mike?
What's that? I didn't hear what you said.
Why is Shedeur getting more coverage than Cam Ward?
Well, I will tell you that Cam Ward is more of a kind of calm, reserved guy. He's not necessarily the rah-rah or a guy that's going to, I guess, capture a lot of the attention. Plus, he's not, of course, the son of a Hall of Fame defensive back. So, those two things, yeah, he can't compete with those. He's just a cool, calm, and collected guy. That's who he is. That's who he's pretty much presented himself the entire time he's been here in Nashville the entire time. So, at the press conference, you would never really hear him raise his voice. He'll be a cool, calm voice the entire time. Now on the football field, totally different thing. But yeah, it's just the personality is kind of a cool and calm guy, and he basically a guy that likes to go fishing, show up at the facility between 4:30 and 5 o'clock with his wide receivers every morning, going over the game plan, and then he goes out to practice, and then he goes home. That's literally what he does every single day. He's what they call boring, basically. So,
good. So he's
there you
so
go.
his line's right. What are your expectations for Cam Ward in year 1? What will be a successful
year one? Year one, I say he'll get at least about maybe 20 touchdown passes, 20 to 25 in that range. Now, I will say he's also probably going to throw anywhere between 10 to 15 interceptions, probably. Because one thing about Cam Ward that I've noticed is he actually throws the ball across the middle a lot. He likes to feast across the middle and things like that. And of course, he's still working on getting his timing down in terms of throwing things on time, because Callahan likes to throw, likes every throw to be on time, as opposed to, Cam was sitting in the pocket for forever and ever at Miami. Fine with him like to throw across the middle. Is going to be good for interceptions sometimes, and other times it's going to be good for making big plays, especially to his tight ends and his wide receivers, which I will tell you, Calvin Ridley will more than likely go for 1,200 plus yards this year. Book it.
Cody, what you think? What you think about that out there? And final question, and we'll go to Cody. Does Brian Callahan's in his second year? We know how these NFL like to flush these coaches out. What will be a success for him coming off the fact that they were the worst team in the NFL next year, to give him that extra year of job security? Because he's probably on a 4-year deal, probably.
No.
It's 4.
Okay, so clearly what we don't consider this team a playoff team. So what will be a success for Brian Callahan in year 2 as a head coach, and year 1 with Cam Newton and Cam Ward as his franchise quarterback?
I don't think he heard you. Yeah. Cody.
Mike, Jimmy?
Mike.
Oh, you were asking me. I didn't know if you were asking me or somebody else. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was asking you. Then we'll go to Cody. What's a success? What will be a success for Brian Callahan and Cam Ward as in year 1 together?
Okay. Got you. I would say probably anywhere between 6 to 9 wins. So in that range, the 7 to 9 wins would actually be good for them. But in those 6 to 9 wins or wherever they are, showing that they're competitive, showing that they're actually, a plan to get better and improving as the season goes on. I think that keeps Brian Callahan safe with his job. And then also with Ward, of course, you're showing the progression and understanding of defenses as he goes along. He's a quick study. I will tell you that. He doesn't make the same mistake twice. That's one thing that I've noticed about Cameron Ward.
All right. Cody, what you make about for the Titans going into this first year with Cam Ward?
I asked the same question that you did. Why, or kind of what Nick said. I think it was Nick that said it.
Both of y'all
That why are we talking more about Shedeur over Cam Ward? Well, it's kind of like Mike said. From what I've been hearing, it's just Cam's all business and no flash. You know what I'm saying? And the fact, just a fantasy nugget, just kind of there is Calvin Ridley said that he's one of the best quarterbacks he's played with in his time in the NFL. Well, the dude played with Matt Ryan, right? So, other than that, he's had Trevor Lawrence, who we all thought is going to be the next guy. So let's just be honest. So I think, I'm looking at the schedule right now. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What were they went 3-14 last season, right? And
right.
So I think a successful is twice as many wins, maybe 6 to 8 wins totally. But I think I'm going to be an asshole and say we beat them twice. They catch Indianapolis maybe once. They catch Jacksonville once. No offense to Dale, but they beat Dale's Saints because I think they're better than the Saints. And they're going to get it's going to come down to who's worse between them and Cleveland, for that. So I think 5 or 6, if over excelling is 8 wins. But I think that's what keeps Callahan's job, even though that the rumor says that they wanted to fire him after last season anyway. But if you can keep Cam Ward upright, keep him safe, not have to go to Brandon Allen or Trevor Siemian at quarterback by the end of the season, I think that's pretty successful. So, personally.
All right.
And I don't disagree with that Calvin Ridley 1,200 yards take at all.
Let's go to the team that that's a shockingly pick number 2, because then we'll go to the NFC South in a minute after we talk Texans. Dalton says that the Colts and the Jets will be the worst teams in the NFL this year. Let's talk about the Jaguars, and we'll talk about them more on Friday too. With our girl Tanisha from Main Event Models. Mike, what was your reaction when the news broke about them trading up for Travis Hunter? Mike,
honestly, it was. I was shocked. I was shocked it even happened. I did not expect that. No one expected it, and it's just kind of a sign of the new management in Jacksonville with Gladstone, or they like to call him Jimmy. They call him Jimmy Stones down there. By the way, that's his nickname for some people. They call him Jimmy Stones. But yeah, with him being added to that team, of course, and I didn't expect that trade to happen, and of course they kept it close to the vest, and voila, it happens. But totally unexpected, but totally something that has invigorated Jacksonville and definitely has Jacksonville Jaguars fans believing that they're on the uptick and they could potentially compete with the Houston Texans to win the division.
What you think, Cody, about Jacksonville and Travis Hunter?
I like Travis Hunter. Don't get me wrong. I think he could be one of those phenom players in the league as long as he doesn't get beat up on whichever side of the ball he wants to play more on. I personally don't mind him playing both sides of the ball, but I think he probably should eventually just pick one and stay there. But I like him. I like him to take pressure off of BTJ. So that's the thing. I like looking forward to that. I always love another team I love to see lose is Jacksonville. But Travis Hunter, it's just one of those kind of unicorns that maybe we see do things that we've never seen or haven't seen in a long time. So personally, just love to see the Jaguars fail too.
Yeah. You think Travis Hunter should stay on to still be a two-way player, or should he focus on one side primarily? Dale.
Oh, me. I'm sorry. I think Travis Hunter needs to focus on offense because you get hurt when you play defense. And the fact that he was sitting out like these past two preseason games because of some kind of injury, like we need to scale it back, bro. Like, look at it. I think he had 18 snaps altogether, like 9 on offense, 9 on defense, something like that. It was sort of an even split, but yeah, you need to focus on offense, make that money, because you have to think about your second contract, bro. Get that second contract. That's when you get paid. You have to get that second contract.
What you think, champ?
Hey, you can't burn. Look, we've seen a lot of guys burn the candle at both ends in college. We've seen it. But now you're in the NFL, you can't do it. So focus on being wide receiver. I think him and Brian Thomas. Am I saying his name right? Brian Thomas?
Yeah. Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. I think them two could be a deadly combination for Trevor Lawrence. I really do think that. And, I mean, depending on who's the running back down there, is Tank Bigsby the new running back down there? Are they going full-time with him?
Probably. Let's still got Travis Etienne in there, too. So
I think Travis Etienne might be on the outside over there from what I heard.
So, yeah, depending on how well they can produce in that offense, I think that this could – it's pretty much showtime for Trevor Lawrence at this point anyway. So I think they're going to play him more at wide receiver than they are at the cornerback position. I think they're looking for some quick offense to take some attention off of Brian Thomas. I really think they did because they was talking about Maserati Marv when he first came in the league, but hey, look at BT. He was a dog. So I think when you put them together on the offensive side of the ball, they're gonna really make a difference. I really want to see Trevor Lawrence succeed. I know I give him a hell of a lot of grief. Shout out to Brandon from the block. He called him T-Mid. But I want to see Shine from the room of the Titans do some things, but he hasn't really shown me a lot as of late.
Drell, what you think about Travis Hunter?
I think ultimately he is probably going to focus on the offensive side of the ball. Me personally, I've always been a bigger fan of him on the defensive side of the ball. For some reason, I've just always been a bigger fan of him on the defensive side. I like his instincts when he's a man. I like his athleticism. I like his zone instincts. Like he's got really, really good ball skills. I've always been a bigger fan of him on the defensive side of the ball. But I do think ultimately he's probably going to focus more. Ultimately, I think it's going to focus more on the offense because, like y'all said, man, it's going to be about staying healthy and getting to that big money, that second contract. And it's not like he doesn't have skills on the offensive side of the ball. He's really good after the catch. I mean, he's got good hands and he's really good after the catch. I mean, he's not the greatest route runner yet, but I feel like with coaching that'll come. So ultimately, I do think he's going to focus more on the offensive side of the ball. I've always liked his defensive instincts more, but I do think he's going to focus more on offense.
Let's talk about the team who won that division. That's Cody's Houston Texans. Obviously, Cody, your man CJ Stroud had a little bit of a decline in year 2, but obviously they brought Stephon Diggs in. Obviously, that didn't work out. Nico Collins dealt with injury. We all saw what happened with Tank Dell. You brought in Joe Mixon. That was a good acquisition. Obviously, now we're going into year 3. What are you expecting from your Texans to go 3 straight years winning the division? And what do you want to see from your franchise QB?
Just keep CJ's already the best quarterback that's ever played, arguably for the Texans. And that says a lot. I mean, you can go back statistically and everything, but he's already started to eclipse everything Deshaun Watson ever did. And now he's just snipping at the heels of what's left over from Matt Schaub, right? And
Matt Schaub.
That's hard to say that Matt Schaub is the best quarterback to ever play for your franchise. That's just hard to say that. So, who now wants to take over the NFLPA? Yeah. So, but anyway, so I just want to see CJ keep improving. I love to see that he's already made leaps and bounds. I mean, we already know what Nico was through the first 7 games, I believe it was, before he got hurt or whatever it was last season. He was wide receiver, at least he was like 3, I think at that point in the league. And I mean, still ended up with almost more touchdowns than a lot of the top 5 wide receivers last season, and only played 12 games, right? So, so bringing in what we brought in, Christian Kirk, okay, yeah, that's great, all fine and dandy. He's going to play the slot, kind of vacated for where Stephon Diggs left. But I'm more interested in the 2 rookies out of Iowa State, Higgins and Noel. Those dudes are going to fill in great, and Higgins is going to be that guy, that Robin per se to Nico Collins' Batman. So, and I already feel like he's already got good rapport with CJ. So I think that we easily repeat 10 wins. I think we could go somewhere closer to 12, 13 maybe. So,
Mike, I'll give you the final word on Houston, then we'll get to the NFC South. What is your expectations for the Texans to try to go 3 years in a row winning the AFC South?
Well, I don't disagree with the 10 wins. I definitely think 10 wins is where they need to be. 12 if the offensive line plays well, by the way. So, I could see that. But, yeah, I have a lot of questions in terms of the health of Joe Mixon right now. Now, originally it was talked about that he had a foot injury, off season, whatever. He'd be fine by camp. Camp comes around, still got same injury, and it's like, oh, no, he'll be okay. I'm like, okay, now you have questions about week 1. So I have very much a lot of questions about the running game, who's going to be back there, because other than Mixon, you have Nick Chubb.
That's who's going to be back there.
History.
They'll be fine.
It doesn't matter. He's going to pound the rock.
His Carfax is not very good.
I don't give a shit.
Basically.
I don't give a shit. Give me all the Nick Chubb that you can give me.
Oh,
give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
I heard he didn't look the same.
what the heck?
That's what I heard. I heard he didn't look the same.
Y'all the ones that turn that shit into something in the gutter. But no, give me all the Nick Chubb, dog.
Yeah. All right, real quick. What are you expecting from Nick Chubb?
All of it.
Yo, chill.
Anyway.
I mean, Mike is
I'll say that.
We got to
Yo! Oh, my bad. You said that with what? 1, 2, 3, 4 Georgia fans on there, huh?
Lord have mercy.
My fault, Sean. All right. So let's go ahead and move to the NFC South. But Cody,
getting back to the Texans, I'll say this: defensively, I'll say defensively they have very, very good talent at every level. Every level, you have Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter at defensive ends. That's paying for any offense. Then you have Derek Stingley Jr., one of the best corners in the NFL, right there. You got Petrie as your slot guy. You have basically, if they're healthy, they have the best group of safeties in the NFL.
Shout out to SC, you heard?
Not even without. So, yeah, to me, that's what I think of the Texans. The Texans defense may have to carry them a few games, just because I'm not sure the offense will be, in terms of the offensive line, will be in sync enough to start the year. But as the season goes on, if they gain speed, yeah, that Texans team could be a little dangerous, especially if they get some healthy running backs.
Yo, we're going to kick Nick out the house if he ever mentions the name Levi Wallace ever again. We got to hear Levi Wallace. Him and Eli, by the way, him and Eli Apple were mentioned last week on the show when y'all weren't here.
Alabama great.
Levi Wallace. Wow.
All I gotta say is if you don't
work his way to be a star.
if you miss out on Nick Chubb in a fantasy draft, I'm gonna say I told you so.
Mm.
Well, I missed out on him, so I guess you're gonna tell me I told you so because I
I'm
can't
just
trust
saying
them
if you
knees,
miss
man.
I'm just saying he's over 100 touches, close to 500 yards, and at least over 3 touchdowns. That he's good for at least that, and that's good. And I'm not saying he's not a top running back, no, but he's essentially a bye week waiver wire type target, or you get somebody that you need. And he's one of those dudes that slowly wins you a ball game a week, at least once.
What's the thought
Yeah,
on
I could definitely say win a week for me. I get you that one, yeah, for sure.
Because my thought was Damian Pierce was going to start getting some run now that Joe Mixon,
He can't find holes though. He can't find the holes, man. That's why he's not running the ball.
Woody Marks is better than him. Shout out to Nick and his USC Woody Marks.
Mike, is Damian Pierce still with the Texans?
I don't think he's there no more.
Yes,
he's still there.
Yes,
he's still there. He just can't. He doesn't run the style that they like. Basically, when he first was rookie, he basically wasn't finding. You mess around, you running back, you run the daylight. He wasn't really running the daylight. And then the new offense came around. It's a one cut and go. He wasn't running the daylight, so they like, yeah, we got to sit him down.
We changed offense again. Now we run the Sean McVay scheme, so he fits a little bit better in that. But like I said, I think Woody Marks is better.
Not quite better. Yeah, Woody is better. Woody's a better receiver out of the backfield too.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get to the NFC South.
I got an idea, but John will get mad because he don't get women on you.
Shout out to Nick's boy on the back of my jersey here.
You know what I'm saying? Brian Cushing. You know what I'm saying?
Roids and all.
What's going on?
Yeah, that's us.
I don't know why. Hold on. What's going on with StreamYard? How do I sound? Do I sound staticky?
Oh, you sound good.
Somebody's staticky.
Somebody's staticky.
Some of the speakers are speakers. Some of the speakers.
Test it.
We'll figure it out. All right, let's get to the NFC South.
Sound good, man.
Dale, I'm gonna start with you. We're gonna talk about your Saints.
Who that?
Tyler Shuck.
It's your computer speaker, something like that.
Yeah, it's your computer speaker.
The heck? This new shit. But anyway, the Saints, obviously, you get your quarterback in the second round of Tyler Shuck. Or Spencer Rattler.
A quarterback. Yeah, we got a quarterback.
But obviously your first year with Kellen Moore as a new coach. What are you expecting from the Saints? And are you buying anybody as your quarterback for the future?
No, nobody on this team is the quarterback of the future, unless maybe you consider a backup.
Time out, Dale. I'm gonna try to exit out right quick and we'll exit right back in and see what's something wrong. Just hold on right quick.
Okay.
I mean, let's leave the studio for a minute. I don't know why.
Testing.
I think it was them.
Yep.
Check, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to let you guys know, since we're still live, that all right, the Saints. Okay. What I see happening this season under Kellen Moore, first year head coach, he's gonna have to learn on the job because this is his first head coaching gig. We did something I think a little bit different in the training camp, where we started off training camp at home, and then like 2 weeks or so, or a week and a half, they went to California, got some work out there. Now, it turned out to be beneficial because they got to do a joint workout with the Rams, because the Rams, their play date, they couldn't make it, and so we made it. and we had fun before the preseason game. Now we've been in 2 preseason games, and they've rotated the quarterbacks. They've been rotating the quarterbacks all off season, all through camp, and the consensus is Spencer Rattler is in the lead for the starting quarterback position.
We back.
Now, they could be a starting quarterback position and I'm talking about the beginning of the season, right? Week 1 starting quarterback. So they haven't actually named that quarterback. They haven't even named the quarterback for this Sunday's game or Saturday game, whatever day it is.
I'll play us. I'll play Saturday. We play Saturday.
Okay, yeah, there we go. So they haven't named who the starting quarterback is going to be. So if
we're gonna play everybody,
I'm hoping it's going to be Spencer Rattler. Let's just go ahead and let's go ahead and let him start off the year. None of them are good enough to remain starting quarterback the entire season. So we've talked about, quarterbacks coming in half of the season. This is going to be one of those scenarios too, where half the season you're going to see Shuck come in. That my prediction is Rattler gets to start the season. My prediction for the year, I'm I'm actually going to say Spencer. I'm sorry, the Saints will win.
What's wrong with you?
Oh God.
That's what will throw me off, bro. That's what will throw me off.
Oh no!
Yeah, he was a Sooner. Wait, he was a Cock Sooner? He was a Cock Sooner? Is that what you said?
Jesus Christ!
Oh, man.
Somebody call the police on them, man.
Yo,
He the cockback. He took Seattle Trump role.
what?
Bro, yeah, damn, bro.
Never Nick and Champ in the same place. It's never kosher, bro. It's never kosher. You put Nick and Champ in the same show. How many games you give Spencer Rattler as a starter?
This is true too, Lori.
No,
Lori
Lane, no. Lane.
Okay.
Oh my! Oh Jesus Christ! Boy,
I thought we was on Sports for You, not West Coast Productions.
Everything's out of pocket right now.
Time out.
This is what I signed up for. This is what I signed up for.
Whoever put that on the scroll, Michael Penix got to run their fade immediately.
it was CBS Sports. Absolutely,
It was CBS.
it was CBS who did that.
He got to run their fade.
They let
immediate
autocorrect.
phase.
They let autocorrect
Immediate
get to
phase.
them.
Number 2.
The intern that wrote that let autocorrect get to them, and we know what they were sending. What word they were sending.
We know what we know what their mind was, boy.
Yeah, they was watching too much Harold and Kumar.
But yes, I'm predicting 7 wins for the season. That's my prediction.
Over under how many games before y'all go to Shug from Spencer Rattler?
5.
17.
All right.
I see his name in the comments.
7. Dale 7. Do you have a 7 that you picked? Like a 7? Like you think is it one of those that you catch?
My God, bro!
Oh, okay. Let me go through the schedule then, sir.
No, I'm just asking. Do you have set? Because I see more like 5, and I'm looking at the schedule. That's why I was like, it's hard.
Yeah. No, not in particular, but I can find 7 because the Saints gonna get 7. It's just what they do late in the season, bro.
What y'all think? Y'all think the Saints get 7? Mike,
Hell
let's
no,
start with the NFC guys go first.
Respectfully, no. I do not
So
see that.
Atlanta's won, guaranteed. We getting one.
Boy, here we go.
You know we getting one. You know it. Throw the records
Because y'all
away.
always beat us in. Because y'all always beat us in New Orleans.
Throw the records away. You know the deal.
Oh,
That's gonna be a scrap.
Y'all
That's
get
gonna
us
be a
in New
scrap.
Orleans, but the thing is this: I don't have no look. Number one, I really feel like that they did the same thing Pittsburgh did with Big Ben. They didn't prepare for the long haul without Drew. I really think that they failed the franchise by doing that. They didn't prepare for life after Drew, and by the time they did start to prepare, it was a little bit too little, too late. I mean, Spencer Rattler, people be calling him the poor man's Patrick Mahomes. He's the broke man's Patrick Mahomes. Let's just keep it all the way at 100.
He's
albino Mahomes.
He's the
Yeah.
WNBA version of Mahomes.
Exactly.
He's somebody playing Patrick Mahomes in a Hallmark movie channel.
Yeah, he playing him on Tubi. So
Mahomes is crazy.
He said he's playing him on Tubi.
But yeah, I really look. Defense, yes. Wideouts, yes. Running backs, yes. That's what's going to help you guys out a hell of a lot. The thing is, I believe the quarterback is going to be the reason why y'all lose more games than you win. And that's just being very, very honest. I believe that they're going to be relying heavily a lot upon don't be surprised if Alvin Kamara gets a hell of a lot more carries this year, because I really think that they're going to be heavily relying on him even more this year than ever. But defense, wideouts, good. As far as the quarterback is concerned, that's going to be the reason why a lot of games are surrendered at this point in time, especially when y'all come to the ATL. But I have no faith in the quarterbacks at this point. And that is the only reason why I put y'all at about, I'll say 6 to 7 wins. I'll say 6 to 7, but other than that, nah.
All right, Mike, what you
I
make?
predicted 7 wins.
Mike, what you make of the Saints going into this season?
Well, Spencer Rattler, if he's the starting quarterback, man, they may be lucky to get 5. Because I mean, the thing with Spencer Rattler is, in everywhere he's been, is once there's no tape out on you, he might do well. But once tape gets out there on him, then he starts to struggle because he never adjusts. So, yeah, I got maybe like 5 wins for the Saints. Just keep Kelvin Moore off of the strip down there, because he's probably gonna need a few drinks after a few games this year.
Cody,
That's what I was asking. What I was telling Dale, I was like, I see more like 5. Personally, I saw what I needed to see. I was a big Spencer Rattler proponent when he was drafted. I thought he was going to be something for the Saints. I saw that last year. Even without Olave, I still felt like he could be better than what he was. I don't think Kellen Moore can fix that problem. I think Kellen Moore should just pull the plug. It's a new you drafted a guy. Go with the guy you drafted, please. Just go with the guy you drafted that stayed at Louisville and Oregon and wherever else the hell he went to school for 57 years. He runs the ball a little bit. He ran the ball in college a little bit. So just go with them. I think 5 wins is about max. Maybe maybe Fluke can get to 7, but 5 is about where I think they end up.
all right, let's go to. So we're gonna end this with Champ and Drell's boys, the Falcons. All right, year 2 of the Raheem Morris experience. Michael Penix is now your quarterback. So I got one real honest question: why the hell have y'all not traded Kirk Cousins yet?
Concerns about Michael Penix Jr.'s previous injuries in Indiana, and you're just trying to make sure, just in case of contingency playing, you can never have enough. Look, you need a good backup. And guess what? He may not can carry anybody anymore. Not that he ever was a carrying person, but get you a few wins if Michael Penix has to sit out for maybe a game or 2. But I mean, plus, if I'm Atlanta, I'm not trying to take no cap hit of $50 million when I could just release this behind the very next year and everything comes off my books. That free, if once he's released next year, after June the 1st, that frees up $50 million of cap space. $50 million. So guess what? I'm gonna keep him on here as long as I can. Now, if you want him next year, fine. But I'm not gonna release him and I'm not gonna trade him and cause my cap space to get messed up. We just got out of cap hell. So let's not do that. I really feel like this team can go very, very far. I think that Bijan Robinson can have an even bigger year than he did last year. I mean, the thing is, hey, Drell, you remember how Michael Turner was utilized when Matt Ryan first came in? You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah, although Matt Ryan was damn good his rookie year, they was utilizing Michael Turner in more ways than I really think that's how they should do Bijan this year. I mean, I really think they should give him at least 300 carries, by 360, feed him, and make the play action be in play a little bit more. So I know that's going to take a lot of carries away from Tyler Aguilar, but still, I think they'll do good. I give us 10 wins.
I want to know about Pitts. Does he?
What about him?
This year?
What about him?
I think he's going to do good this year. I
think we might get 20. We might actually get 2021 Pitts this year with some more touchdowns. We actually might, because I like Michael Penix's mindset when it comes to Kyle Pitts, because he's already trying to get Pitts. He's getting him in that mindset, like, I'm gonna get you to rock this year, and I like that mindset because he knows what that offense turns into if Kyle Pitts is 2021 Pitts. If he's 2021 Pitts and he's getting in the end zone, there's nothing any defense can do with this offense. There's absolutely nothing, because you can't account for him because you can't double him. You can't double Drake. You can't put 8 in the box on Bijan Robinson or Tyler Algier, whoever's running back there. And then not to mention, you have surprisingly good depth when you talk about Ray McLeod, when you talk about Casey Washington, who's been doing good this preseason, when you talk about Chris Blair, who's been one of the stories of the preseason, and then you drafted a guy in Nick Nash who led all of college football in receiving. So, I mean, they are coming in with surprisingly really good depth at the wide receiver position. So I think what the Falcons are going to do this year, there is no reason the Atlanta Falcons shouldn't be top 10 when it comes to play action play calls. There is absolutely no reason they should not be top 10 in play action. No reason at all. They should utilize play action to the fullest extent because I mean, Michael, because it's just mainly the weapons that they have, and Mike and I see like the fans and everybody, they're freaking out because, you know, Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins, they've already announced they're not going to play in the preseason finale, and it would be one thing if this was still last year, first year in the offense, still trying to learn, but that's. Yeah. I like the fact that they've had, like, this is their second year in the offense. I like that they're working, that they're still getting this down. I think even though Tennessee did win the preseason game, those scrimmages was like those joint practices, those scrimmages they ran with Tennessee, it told me a lot about the mindset of this team. They got it. I mean, for the first time in a while, it's like everybody got each other's back. Everybody's got each other back. And they actually got a quarterback who's like with the shits, this is like the first time in years that they've had a quarterback like this. What I'm really going to be focused on with them this year, though, is the defensive side of the ball, because I don't care what any draft experts say or so-called draft experts say. I love the fact that they got two of the maybe top 3 pass rushers in the draft, in James Pierce and Jalen Walker. People are saying they were crazy for trading back in the first round, getting James Pierce. I thought that was a great move.
I think so too.
I think it was a great move, because I mean, they basically said it like, why wait till 20? Wow, I mean, that to me, that was kind of like we're aiming to make the playoffs this year. That's what kind of move that was, and just early on, looking at James Pierce, I like it. I like his energy. I like his motor. I like his temperament. Even though it was preseason, the fact that he's getting the type of treatment that he's already getting in terms of offensive linemen doubling him, throwing a tight end chip, I'm like, he's getting his treatment already. Even if it's like second string, third string, like he's already getting this type of treatment. And I don't care. We got the best safety in the game. We got Jesse Bates. We got the best safety in the game. I'll just go ahead and say it. We got the best safety in the game. I think AJ Terrell is still coming in his own. He's going to have another good year on the defensive side of the ball. The main thing for me is can this pass rush finally do something? And I like the depth that they're going to rotate. Jalen. You got Jalen Walker, who you're eventually going to use the pass rush, but you have James Pierce. You signed Leonard Floyd. You had Arnold Ebiketie, who was really coming into his own the second half of the year. You're getting Braylon Trice back. You have Caden Ellis, who just had like a breakout year last year, who can rush the passer from a middle linebacker spot as well as do all type of things. There's no excuse to why this team isn't in the 10 to 12 range area and really contending for that NFC South championship. And for the first time in a while, I'm excited about really the division as a whole. This is the first time in a while I've been excited about the division as a whole. Like normally we come into this year and the NFC South is like, okay, we know we're only going to get one team in the playoffs. So which one is it going to be? You could legit see multiple NFC South teams make the playoffs for once. And the division hasn't had that since the heyday of like those 2010 teams when you could say all four teams were really just battering each other in the 2010s, whether it was the Saints, whether it was the Panthers, whether it was the Bucks, whether it was the Falcons. So I'm definitely this is probably the most excited I've been for the NFC South really since the mid 2010s. But as far as the Falcons go, like I said, I'm thinking this team should be anywhere between 10 to 12, ultimately competing for the NFC South. I'm expecting Penix. If I had to make a prediction on his stat line, I think a good first full year out of Penix is anywhere. Gosh, I would say like 3,500, 4,000 yards, 25, 30 touchdowns, and he's not, low, like high single digit picks. So like I'm expecting them to actually follow. And they've been doing this the last 3 years. Like they come in with hype and then they fall flat. I'm expecting them to not fall flat this year. So I'm looking at 10 to 12 wins, competing for the division with the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think they're the two best teams in the division.
I'm assuming Dale put this on the stage.
No, I did.
Oh, Cody. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. I couldn't tell what it was at first. I couldn't tell what it was at first.
No, I did that.
All right.
I did that.
So, final words from Dale on the Falcons, and then we're going to get to this big announcement with the brand, and then we're going to head up out of here. Dale, what you make of the Falcons going into this season?
I didn't have the great feeling that I had like when they drafted Penix. I was like, yes, after they got Cousins, and I thought it was like overkill on the quarterback position and everything like that, and putting them into bad positions. So I didn't see a move like that this year to make me, celebrate. But I agree. I think they're going to be like one of the top two in the NFC South. But we getting one of them wins, dog.
All right. We're going to end it here.
Answer Dale's question.
For their sake, they better.
You draft him as a tight end 2. Draft him as a tight end 2, and he could be a tight end 1 by the end of the season. But draft him as a tight end 2 because he's roughly running about 15 right now.
Yes.
All right. So we got a big announcement we want to make. and it's Evolving Sports for You. It's following Cody and Ballers and Briefs. This year, Cody let everyone know on social media that Ballers and Briefs is taking a hiatus for right now, but they'll be back. And I got out on the phone and talked to my guy about an idea, and he agreed. So, ladies and gentlemen, sport is official. Cody of Ballers and Briefs is officially the Sports for You fantasy football analyst for 2025 NFL season.
All right, let's go.
Oh, and in full DX fashion, I had to spray paint the logo over top of their logo. So
I like that. That's fresh. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's fresh.
So Cody's gonna be with us every Tuesday.
Shout out to Cody,
Giving us fantasy football advice, who he likes, who he doesn't like. And he'll be part of the pick segment every week. On Friday, he's going to send us information for those who like to do DFS, you want the prize picks, blah, blah, blah. He'll give you something on the gambling side. He'll send on Friday that I'll have on display for you guys on the show for Fridays. Y'all get ready to go ahead into Sunday. So we're going to get up out of here. I want to give Cody the final words. Give your Texans one last pep talk before we get up out of here.
Swarm, baby. Do what D'Amico says. Just count out all the noise. Keep giving all the glory to everybody that you can. Give it to God. Give it to your teammates. And I just want to say I hope John Mechie does well in Philadelphia. Shout out to John Mechie, and I hope his career just goes straight up and to the right. So,
all right. Dale, final words for your Saints.
Who that?
Good question.
That's hate.
That's really good.
Okay.
I'm using that. I'm definitely using that.
Champ, final words for the Falcons.
Rise up.
Pause.
Every morning.
Yo, you good?
We'll make a comment. BC.
Oh man, I'm glad I don't sit next to you in church, Dick Freed.
The pew's got to be melting, right?
Boy,
Yo,
I'm telling you, boy, them pews, all the pews would have melted. Ooh. Oh man, but yeah, it's definitely always a pleasure to hop on here with you fellas, man. And but yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna rise up for the fellas, man. It's rise up. It's ATL. It's Falcons all day. It's Falcons all day. But definitely always a pleasure to get on here with you fellas. And finally, it was good to finally meet Cody and Mike and Dale. Pleasure to finally meet y'all, man. And like, hey, and always, come on, man. Best in the West, man. Y'all like family to us, man. It's always have fun to get on here with y'all, man. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you, Drew.
All right, Mike.
John and Mark be tripping.
Oh, yeah, okay. We be tripping. Mike, give us a final landscape of what the AFC South is going to look like for 2025.
All right, 2025. It's probably gonna be Houston #1 again. Jacksonville 2. I got the Colts at 3 and the Titans at 4 right now. That could be kind of changing up depending upon, of course, the quarterback play. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting look at the AFC South. And I believe the AFC South are going to knock off a few teams that no one expects them to beat this year. So that's what I got. I got one team in the playoffs. Of course, that would be the Houston Texans right now.
Of course, Label would want that.
Fellas will rise up.
Yeah. We're going to get up out of here. So we're going to get everybody's socials real quick. And then we're going to get up out of here. Mike Pete, tell them where they can follow you and what you got going on, brother. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. Well, they can find me on, of course, the artist formerly known as Twitter, because I don't call it X, because only X I recognize DMX and Malcolm X. So you can find me on the artist formerly known as Twitter at MikePatton82. That's MikePatton82 and touring the AFC South on all listed platforms and YouTube.
Cody.
Well, you can find me starting next Tuesday with the boys from Sports for You, but usually you can find me on X at Ballers and Briefs, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So keep eyes out for all the little nuggets and stuff that I'll be dropping along the way this season.
All right, Dale.
You could check me out on YouTube. Sports. I'm sorry, STWF TV. You can check us out. We'll podcast just about every damn day, about everything, and on Twitter at Lil Dice 504.
All right, champ.
Always a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be on here to share the stage with you great gentlemen. Shout out to every last one of you. Keep doing your thing. You can find me on TikTok, Undisputed World Champ. We're at almost 22,000 now on there. And you can find us on YouTube, the Undisputed GOAT podcast, myself, BRF, and Flash. We're almost at 200 on there. So, and hey, thank y'all for inviting us on here, man. It's always an honor to be on the share the stage with the best in the West.
And Big Drill.
As always, BRF Sports. BRF Sports is the TikTok handle. Link trees in the bio. You can follow the Twitter /X. You can follow the IG. You can follow the Facebook page. And I also have a Discord as well, BRF Sports. Active link in the bio. So if anybody out there in sports land feel the need to want to join the Discord, cut up, talk sports, having fun, feel free to get in my Discord. Like I said earlier, always a pleasure to get on here on the Sports for You podcast. Whether it's talking the main sports, whether it's talking wrestling, always a pleasure to get on here with you fellas, man. And like I always say, a topic not thought about is a topic not talked about. Y'all holla at me. Always a pleasure to get on here.
All right, so let's keep you up. What you got going on schedule-wise on Sports for You? So make sure you check out a Culture Clash. Make sure you check us out tomorrow. Check out Humble Roses tomorrow with Nessa, Dallas. They're doing a special show honoring the career of Karrion Kross. No, he's not dead, but they want to give Karrion Kross his props tomorrow. They did a show last week on Carmelo Hayes.
What the fuck happened to Karrion Kross?
No, they did a show last week dedicated to Carmelo Hayes. Now tomorrow they're gonna do a show dedicated to Karrion Kross. Check me and Trail out tomorrow. Sports for You Wrestling, 7:00, 10 Eastern on YouTube and X, and on the Culture Clash YouTube channels as well. Third, if you check out Mark, 8:00 tomorrow on Instagram, No Rules Live with him and Ill Will, 8:00 Pacific. Thursday, check Trail out on Best in the World with Dale, as they recap the week in wrestling. Obviously, shout out to Nico in the house. And check out Marks with Mike's Thursday night, 10:00, JT, Dallas Cash. They have a big announcement about the Culture Clash Network y'all not want to miss. Y'all tune into that on Thursday. And then Friday, Sports for You continues the Sports for You two-a-days with the AFC, NFC South. Trail's going to be in the building talking Saints. We got our boy JB from Culture Clash coming on to talk Falcons. My man Jermaine from the Sucio Boys, he's also going to talk some Saints and relax. And talk some Texans because he's from the Houston area. And then my girl Tanisha from Main Event Mama, she's going to come on and talk some Jaguars. And then a week from the night.
Oh, shit, Jaguars fan?
Yes. A week from the night, the Sports for You Fantasy Football League live draft, a week from the night. 7:00 we'll start the show. The draft starts at 7:15. You might get your popcorn ready. Cody's going to be here. He's going to be giving us draft and analysis on every pick. And we're going to have myself, Nick, Mark, Nick, and a lot of the participants in the league will be in the house. So y'all make sure y'all check us out. Make sure you subscribe to Sports for You Podcast on YouTube, Townhouse Media on YouTube, Culture Class on YouTube. Follow us on X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Sports for You Podcast. Follow me at John Watson 0984 on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Mark on Instagram and Hi, I'm Mark. Hi, Mark1 on X. Nick, X, Instagram, and TikTok, and 99 Gorilla. And of course, you heard from our guests where you can follow them on social media as well. I'll see y'all tomorrow night for Sports for You Wrestling. Check Mark tomorrow night on No Rules Live. Also, check out our homegirl JoJo, Hot Take After Dark. He gets wild on that show. Trust and believe. Hey, yo, chill. You good? No.
John,
All right.
John.
This has been Sports for You 2-a-days, AFC, NFC South. I'm John. That's Mark. Nick Freeze, Mike P, Cody, Dale, Champ, Big Drill, and we'll see y'all Friday night. Peace, everybody.